Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy, Cupid VT, back at it once again with a little bit of a different recap this time. So this one's gonna be unedited. I do have to get through the recap, and I was gonna try and do it on stream, but I ended up having to rebuild my entire C drive on the day when I went live to do the recap. So as a result of that, clearly I was unable to do that, and yeah, I'm quite literally recording this right before uploading it, and I have to just get this done, and I am very far behind. This is the week 6 recap. Week 7 is about to conclude, and yeah, I'm basically a week behind. That's okay. So what's going to go on here is we're going to just get through the matches. I will cover any free agent moves that happened, and I will update the standings. I will just get this all unedited, uploaded to YouTube. So it's just you and me today, YouTube. How are you doing today? I hope you're well. As you can see, I have also switched browsers. I am back on Chrome. In theory, this will help. You guys can't see, however, the fact that there are 21 tabs worth of battles open. So let's get through all of these matches. Yeah. All right. So first things first, we had Mr. Titan T versus Plasma. This was the first match of week 6 that was played. We have lead Thunderous Therian versus lead Swampert, which is new to Plasma's team. It replaced the what's it called? What was the Pokemon? Metagross? I believe it was Metagross, yeah. Grass Knot, but the Rindo Berry protects. In comes the horse. The horse picks up a kill. In comes Lucario to finish off the horse. The horse does in fact not get killed as it switches out. In comes Swampert, and close combat's just gonna pick up a kill on that. This comes in, it's Sil Valley Ghost, it uses Sword Stance, it takes a Meteor Mash, takes a lot of damage from said Meteor Mash, and after the Sword Stance and the defense drop from close combat, Flame Charge just kills. Multi-attack is gonna OHKO that Primarina, and maybe this thing lives? Multi-attack, Sash, okay, so it does live. Very cool. Second Ice Shard doesn't pick up the kill. We are going to die to this, and it's just a sweep. Oh my gosh, it's just a sweep. It's just a sweep. It's just a sweep. And game 1 goes to Plasma. Yeah, I gotta say, I didn't think that would just outright defeat Mr. Titan T. I figured Mr. Titan T would have something in the back for sure, but it seems that I was wrong here. So maybe game 2, Mr. Titan T will have something a little bit more prepared for the Sil Valley Ghost. And in game 2, Sil Valley Ghost isn't even there. We have lead Typhlosion versus Primarina. You gotta get out of there if you're Typhlosion. Scald Burn, very good on the horse. Now the horse is essentially useless. It still hits quite hard. Now it goes for Hidden Power. I'm guessing Fire. Hidden Power Fire does the same amount of damage to Ice Horse as Scald, so I can't say I would recommend using Hidden Power Fire there. Rocks go up, and then the Swampert clip turns out. Wait a second. Hidden Power is super effective on Florges? Is this Hidden Power Steel or Poison? It could be either or. And yeah, Lucario is going to Sword Stance. It goes for Extreme Speed as the Typhlosion uses Eruption, and after the Extreme Speed chip damage, and by chip damage I mean it did a lot of damage, Eruption doesn't even come close to killing. Now we're going to switch out. We're going to go into Haxorus on Rotom, which is, I suppose, a fair move. And then Rotom reveals Hidden Power Ice and just kills the Haxorus. In comes our Mamoswine to use Knockoff on the incoming switch. We knock off the Assault Vest. Very, very good. Also, Aromatherapy had been used by the Florges, which removes the burn from the Ice Horse. Beedrill Mega evolves and goes for Pursuit, trying to catch a switch. The horse does not switch. Pursuit does nothing. Luckily, we dodge a Zen Headbutt, and maybe, just maybe, we can get the win here. Close Combat does a lot of damage to this Rotom. Rotom uses Leaf Storm, picks up the kill. It might not have killed if... Nah, it probably would have killed. What am I saying? I was about to say it might not have killed. Rotom tries to switch, and Beedrill picks up a kill with Pursuit. Beedrill is then killed by Scarf Typhlosion. In comes Mamoswine. which has Ice Shard. Ice Shard crits, does a lot of damage to this. Ice Shard again. Why are we still using Ice Shard? Why are we still using Ice Shard? Are we banded or are we scarfed? Because we really should not be sacrificing our whole Mamoswine to this. And then we switch out. We want to preserve our Mamoswine with 22% HP so that, you know, it takes Stealth Rock damage and practically doesn't exist anymore. At this point, though, it doesn't really matter. Mr. Titan T has nothing left that kills this Florges, and I'm going to assume that Plasma picks up the win here. Thundurus is going to come in. Maybe, just maybe, if special attack drop, that's going to seal the deal. Maybe a Z move would have killed without the special attack drop. Looking at that damage on Thunderbolt, I'm going to go with no, it wouldn't have killed, and it didn't matter. Like I said, the Florges does, in fact, win the game here. Knock off, but it's too little too late. And yeah, we just died to the Florges. GG. And Plasma picks up a 2-0 win over Mr. Titan T. Very good for Plasma. Plasma was looking a little bit troubled as far as record was going after the couple of consecutive losses. But, you know, the win here definitely helps out quite a bit. And we will go ahead and close those two matches, and we will get into the next match immediately. This is Crystal Wolf versus Wisty. Wisty, who has been kind of struggling this season. I don't know. Like, what's Wisty doing in the standings? Wisty in 8th. Okay, so Wisty is still looking at a potential playoff run. But honestly, I figured Wisty would be a little bit higher up based on how the standings, or not the standings, how the drafts looked. But you know, we will see. We will see how things transpire later on. It is only week 6. There are 13 weeks before playoffs. Wisty has plenty of time to turn things around. All right, so let's see what happens here. We have lead Manaphy versus Klefki. Klefki goes for spikes as Manaphy goes for Tail Glow. That's very, very disastrous. And then we miss a Thunder Wave, and now Manaphy uses Substitute, and this is over. This is Z Rain Dance. Okay, so this thing only has a water attack, but unfortunately, Wisty has no water resist. And after Z Rain Dance boosting the speed behind a Substitute, yeah, we have to simply find some way to out the Manaphy. Volt Switch doesn't even break the sub. Intimidate. Are we Scarf? Yes, we are Scarf, but we're not gonna kill because of Substitute. Crocodile's gonna die. And it looks like Manaphy might pick up the W here, just at lead. Which, you know, it happens. It happens from time to time. Not everybody can have an answer to a water-type Pokemon. Did we miss another Thunder Wave for good measure? I mean, missing Thunder Wave was not necessary there. But, hey, you know what? It happens. It happens. Sometimes you just have a rough start, you know? Sometimes you get blown away by Manaphy because you go for Spike, and then you miss Thunder Wave as it substitutes, and you just... You know, I feel like that could have gone a lot better for Wisty as far as RNG was concerned. That's for sure. And let's see if Game 2 bodes any better for Wisty. Alright, so here we have a Nidoqueen lead versus a Manectric. Manectric is going to click Flamethrower on the Nidoqueen as Nidoqueen goes for Stealth Rock. Huge prediction by Wisty, by the way. Goes for Flamethrower again, even though Nidoqueen can just kill us. And then we go for Volt Switch on the Audino that comes in. We go into Moltres, take half of our health, and then we're going to U-turn. Because we don't like our Moltres having any health. And coincidentally, the Zarina also uses U-turn, which I wouldn't have gone for personally. But hey, you know what? It worked. We go into Klefki as Nidoqueen comes in with Earthquake. Crocodile's gonna come in, use Stone Edge, which was not something that you want to click on a ground type. I don't know what you were predicting there. Earthquake would have been fine. And then Audino gets Flamethrower Burn, killing the Fortress for free. Fortress didn't get to do anything this game. Terrakion's gonna come in and click Close Combat, and after Mega Evolving, even with a crit, this thing survives. Dazzling Gleam doesn't kill the Terrakion back, even after the special defense drop. Audino goes down, and Wisty is on the board. Low Kicks is going to come in and click Sucker Punch, and that's going to kill Terrakion. Moltres is going to come in and die to Stealth Rocks, and then Sucker Punch. Crocodile's going to come in. Take a bit from Sucker Punch, but not quite die. We're going to use Knockoff, get rid of that Choice Band. We're going to use Knockoff again, get a crit this time, get some extra damage. We're going to die to U-Turn at this point, though. And Nidoqueen's going to come in, and Manectric, even if it has Hidden Power Ice, is not going to beat this thing one-on-one because of Stab Earth Power. And Wisty is defeated by Crystal Wolf. A rough match, but hey, you know, it is what it is. It happens. It happens to the best of us. It happens to all of us. Do not worry. I don't think it is that bad of a loss. Crystal Wolf is definitely looking very good this tournament. Crystal Wolf being in currently second place behind myself. So, yeah, Crystal Wolf's doing good. Alright, so we have watched these two matches. Very good. Yeah, so Crystal Wolf is honestly looking pretty poised to do very well in the tournament, being that Crystal Wolf is undefeated at 6 matches, 0 losses. Alright, let's see how the next match, which is Juvenile versus Bento Box, goes. Alright, so let's see here. We have lead Arctozolt versus lead Aggron. Arctozolt goes for Bolt Beak, and it crits and does half to the Aggron. And then the Aggron uses Earthquake, and it does half to the Bolt Beak. And then we go for Bolt Beak on Zygarde. And then we just stay in and let ourselves die to the Zygarde, because we do not realize that we are weak to ground, I guess. And now we are going to let the Zygarde Thousand Arrows our Articuno as we go for Tailwind and then Future Sight. We get smacked down by the arrows. Now we're clicking Hurricane. We're going to confuse the Aromatisse. The Aromatisse is just going for Toxic, however. Future Sight plus Hurricane, you know, doesn't do enough to kill the Aromatisse, which isn't very good. Are we going to just Tailwind again? Yes, we are. Very cool. Alright, we have one more turn of Articuno, and we've decided to switch out. And if rocks ever go up, the Articuno just dies. So that's cool. Aggron's going to come back in as Porygon uses Nasty Plot. Aggron's going to get healed to full, and then Porygon is going to unleash a full force Z move after a Nasty Plot that kills Aggron in one hit with a resisted attack. Then we are going to get off a Tri-Attack on Alakazam. Alakazam is going to hit Focus Blast, which is, you know, pretty uncommon. We are going to not Mega Evolve our Mega Banette and die. We are going to not attack with Scolipede or use Protect and die. We are going to send in Cobalion and not have a priority move and die. And then we are going to send Articuno in and not have any sort of priority move and die. So game 1 actually goes to Bento Box. Despite the fact that, you know, I think Juvenile had a fairly solid position there, especially after the Porygon picked up the KO on the Aggron. I felt like, you know, if maybe things were played a little better, game 1 could have gone the other way. Let's proceed into game 2. So now we have the same lead as last time. Bolt Beak does 35. This time, Earthquake does 74. We go for Bolt Beak again, just going for damage, I guess. And we get Aggron down to 28%. In comes Articuno, which uses Future Sight as Aggron just clicks Heavy Slam. Now we're going to Protect, which is okay, I guess. And now we're going to go into Cobalion on Heavy Slam, which I believe resists and has very good physical defense. And Aggron's going to die to Future Sight. Zygarde's going to come in. We got to be careful of Thousand Arrows here. But we choose to simply ignore the existence of Thousand Arrows and click Stealth Rock. And we're going to take more damage from Thousand Arrows. And in comes Porygon to release its Z move. Yeah, the Z move's definitely going to kill that. In comes Alakazam. Alakazam is going to use Nasty Plot. We are going to hit it with Tri-Attack. We are going to now die to Psychic. Do we have Protect on any of these Pokemon? Sucker Punch, Banette. And we are going to choose to not Mega Evolve once again. I don't know why Juvenile is just not Mega Evolving. It makes no sense, but Hey, you know what, Juvenile? You do you. Alright, so now we get a para off on Talonflame. We're gonna get Shadow Sneak for Chip. It gets paralyzed, which lets us Shadow Sneak again, and it's gonna get paralyzed again, which lets us Shadow Sneak a third time, and then we get burned by Flame Body, which is very, very unfortunate, but it's okay. Aromatisse is gonna come in. At this point, both of these Pokemon are going to lose to Scolipede, so Scolipede should clean up the rest of this game. It could click Swords Dance here on the Switch. It does, and there you go. Earthquake and Poison Move win the game at this point. But we switch out because I don't know. I guess Juvenile messed up somehow and just switched for no reason. And Scolipede comes back in and now clicks Earthquake, which, okay, cool. Aromatisse is going to come in and click Protect. It's going to be paralyzed and, you know, it has leftovers. Wait a second. Is this Banded Scolipede with Swords Dance? Is that what's going on here? I think that's what it is. That Earthquake did a lot of damage. So this is probably a Banded Scolipede with Swords Dance. And Juvenile does actually end up picking up the kill. And the win in Game 2 with the Scolipede. Despite the massive blunder of using Swords Dance on a Choice Banded Pokemon. Let's go ahead and go into the final game of the match. Alright, so this time we have Aggron versus Cobalion lead. Cobalion's going to use Superpower for some reason against a physical defender when Cobalion has access to excellent, and I do mean excellent, special attacking fighting moves. We could have also clicked Stealth Rock, but we chose not to do that. Now we go into Arctozolt to click Volt Beak, and we get hit by 1,000 arrows, and we just get, you know, brought to our sash. We have Icicle Spear, which definitely kills Zydog. Absolutely. Alakazam's gonna come in. It's going to kill a Pokemon as we go for Substitute with Banette. Alakazam's just clicking attacks at this point. We go for Shadow Sneak, which brings the Alakazam down to its sash, and we die to Shadow Ball. Oh, except for we don't! And then we are going to Shadow Sneak again, and that does pick up the kill on the Alakazam. We're going to go for Thunder Wave on the Aggron. Juvenile loves his Thunder Wave more than anything in the world. Now we go into Articuno, which is, it's an alright choice. It's, yeah, it's okay, I think. I mean, you know, we're just going to, I guess, try to PP stall Heavy Slam, I guess. That's what it looked like there, as we go for Future Sight and then Protect. And now we're going to go into Porygon at this point, because we don't want Aromatisse killing our Articuno. We're going to get up a Nasty Plot, and we're going to get Toxic Poison, but that's okay, because now we can unleash a Breakneck Blitz that kills anything. But Aromatisse is just going to stay in, so no Z move here. And we're going to go for a Nasty Plot on the Protect. Huge prediction, and honestly, at this point, this could just win the game. This Porygon can win the game. But Talonflame is faster. So, Talonflame picks up a kill on Porygon. In comes Articuno. This thing needs to survive. If it does survive, it gets up Tailwind. And then maybe, just maybe, Scolipede can pick up the win. But it does not survive. Scolipede comes in. It is brought to its sash. Does it use Swords Dance? No, it uses Mega Horn. Why did it use Mega Horn? Why did it use Mega Horn? And we, for some reason, decided to go for a Bug move on a Pokemon that times 4 resists Bug. And, at least I think it times 4 resists Bug. And we lose the battle as Juvenile has decided to probably throw that match. After a Swords Dance, if an Aggron gets paralyzed, Earthquake definitely 2-hit KOs it. I mean, yeah, it's just unfortunate. Earthquake, even without Swords Dance, probably one-shots the Xurkitree, and we just had to hit this Talonflame with, like, a poison move, and Juvenile could have just won that game. But instead, we have a Bento Box win. I believe this is Bento's first actual full match win of the season. So congratulations, Bento. Finally on the board after all this time. Congratulations for that. Close these 3 matches now. And we will move on to what was probably the match of the week. Really quick, though. I need to pull this up. Okay. Yeah, In the process of recording this, I am scheduling my match with Bento because I play Bento this week. Spoiler alert. Yeah. Basically, yeah, it's been a busy week for me, but now I have some free time, so yeah, things are looking good. But we have an important match to watch. We have game 1 between Zexal and Fable, our 2 new players to the draft that aren't Kiwi. This should be good. Alright, so we have Dusclops lead versus a Registeel, as Dusclops goes for Protect on turn 1, and Registeel just clicks Stealth Rock. Then it clicks Toxic on the Dusclops, which is very good, as Dusclops just goes for chip damage with Nightshade. Registeel goes for Body Press, which does not affect Ghost types. And between Nightshade and Toxic damage, you know, these 2 Pokemon will eventually whittle each other down to practically uselessness. Golisopod's gonna come in, take Rocks damage, use Swords Dance, and then get Toxic Poison for his troubles. We go for Liquidation on the protecting Registeel. I mean, yeah, and now we're gonna get Body Pressed, which triggers our emergency exit, and this is why Golisopod is a 8-point Pokemon. Because now it has been forced out, not even of its own volition, and now we go for damage with Close Combat, and yeah, this Registeel gets off yet another Toxic Poison. It goes for Protect, which does more damage to this Staraptor. And at this point, between the Stealth Rocks and the Toxic and everything, that Registeel has proven its value. It's been more than worth this entire battle, but it's okay. We're gonna go for Roost, and after we have our defense halved, we actually just died to knock off. And we go for Protect Blaziken. And Blaziken has Speed Boost, which is not legal. That's not legal. You cannot use Speed Boost Blaziken in this draft league. I talked it over with the 2 players, and I didn't see this in game 1 because I was not actually watching this match, but basically didn't really matter too much here, as all the Blaziken Speed Boost did was make it win speed ties, and you know, after this I do converse with the, well, not after this game, because I didn't see this first game 1. But game 2, Speed Boost Blaziken is brought again, and at that point I do see it, and I'm like, hey, you cannot use Speed Boost Blaziken. It is in the list of banned Pokemon. But it doesn't seem to matter here. Essentially what's going on here is, even with the Speed Boost, Zexal does seem to be getting pretty much finished off here, as Mega Heracross, for an inexplicable reason, goes for Sword Stance on the Espeon, as Espeon goes for Power Gem on it. And this Espeon's picked up 3 kills, but Darmanitan's gonna come in and Flare Blitz, and it's going to Flare Blitz the rest of the team, and the team is going to die to Flare Blitz. Oh, Sucker Punch, big damage, but not enough damage. Yeah, so game 1 goes to Fabled, and like I said, I did in fact miss the Speed Boost Blaziken, because, you know, the players seemed to have missed that right here, it says Speed Boost Blaziken is not legal. They did seem to miss that. It's okay, though. Alright, game 2. We have Melodic coming out from Zexal. Melodic does quite good in this matchup, I would say, so I do agree with the choice. We lead Espeon, and we go for Reflect, and then we go for Calm Mind. And then we take another Diamond Storm, and we use Shattered Psyche. We get a crit, and unless that Diancie was specially defensive, I don't think the crit mattered. We go for Power Gem, pick up a kill on the Darmanitan, and now we're going to get off a free Psychic onto this, and just die to Body Press. Reflect is still up, which is good. No, it's not. Never mind, I lied. We go into Melodic instead of Blaziken, which is a Pokemon that has 2 super effective types against Registeel. I don't know why we went into Melodic instead, because now the Registeel gets to get off Toxic on your Melodic and Stealth Rocks and Protect for Chip. And we could have just, you know, kicked this thing out with Blaziken. You know, we could have gone into Blaziken and used, like, fire attacks or even fighting attacks to, you know, terrify this Registeel. But that's okay. I guess it doesn't matter. Except for the fact that Melodic loses because Toxic Poison is better than getting a Scald Burn. In comes Dusclops to presumably click Nightshade. Well, we're gonna click Protect to waste a turn because of leftovers nullifying the burn damage. And then we're gonna switch back into Melodic, presumably as he was expecting Toxic from the Registeel. I don't know. It's okay though. Now we get our leftovers knocked off of our Melodic. We go for Ice Beam, and then we go for Protect to die to Toxic Poison, which is fine. And then we go into Dusclops, which is a Pokemon that does not want to get knocked off against a Pokemon that we've seen knock off on. And we just go for a Will-O-Wisp burn, which, I mean, I guess is okay. Are we going for Nightshade? No, we're going for second Will-O-Wisp burn. That does not stack. And we're gonna get knocked off, but it's okay because Pain Split's gonna heal us up to nearly full. And now we're gonna Protect as it goes for Roost, and we're going to stall. We're going to stall, and we're gonna get Nightshade off on this Gyarados, and then are we gonna use Will-O-Wisp here? We are, and we're gonna get the burn on the Gyarados. Very, very cool. This does make us feel a lot safer. Gyarados is going to use the Z move, and after the burn, that does not do enough to kill. We're going to pick up some more damage with Nightshade. We're going to go for Protect, I guess trying to get even more damage based off of the burn. You know, that's a fair choice. We're going to go into our Staraptor as Gyarados predicts that and goes for Ice Fang and gets a lot of damage off on Staraptor. And now Staraptor just needs to click a flying move. It does. It kills the Heracross. And at this point, Blaziken beats both of these Pokemon, but we're going to go into Dusclops. Actually, I don't know. Blaziken might not beat the Mandibuzz. It's hard to say. I feel like Mandibuzz at 89% and burned probably does lose because Blaziken can Sword Stance and then, like, Life Orb, Flare Blitz probably just kills at that point. But it's okay. Dusclops is going to get Toxic Poisoned. You know, it needed to get Toxic Poisoned. And now we're going to go into Golisopod, which is, you know, a fair choice, I guess. We're going to use Liquidation as it roosts up and heals to full. After the burn, we're going to get knocked off, lose our Life Orb. We're going to go for Sword Stance this turn, which is an interesting choice. And we're going to get U-turned. It does not trigger our emergency exit. We're going to Liquidate. That's going to KO the Registeel. And after knockoff, Golisopod's forced out. And we could totally lose this battle. We could totally lose this. So Blaziken goes for Protect again. And at this point, I am watching the battle. And, well, I'm half watching the battle, I should say. Anyway, Blaziken Flare Blitz does a little bit over half. We get our Life Orb knocked off. And Speed Boost triggers again. And after the knockoff, it's fine. But at this point, I tune in and I see the Blaziken has ×2 speed. And I'm like, wait a second. And I hover over the Blaziken and I see Protect and Flare Blitz and the ability Speed Boost. And I am like, okay, hold on. It didn't matter in this game, but Speed Boost Blaziken is not legal. It's in the banned Pokemon list. You can have Blaziken, but it can't have Speed Boost. Speed Boost Blaziken would be a 20-point Pokemon if I even allowed it. Speed Boost Blaziken has historically been banned in Draft League until recently. And even then, sometimes it is still just banned. So yeah, Speed Boost Blaziken, too powerful. And Zexal thought that they could get a 20-point Pokemon for the cost of, I think, 11? And, yeah, no, that's just not the case. So I'm like, okay, here's the deal, Fabled. Here's the deal. You can either take the win, or you can play out game 3. Your opponent did in fact use an illegal Pokemon. It is up to you. It didn't matter. The speed boost did not matter at the end of this game. This Blaziken was most certainly faster than Mandibuzz, unless it was max speed Mandibuzz, in which case it would have been a speed tie. And, you know, that doesn't really happen. You don't really see max speed Mandibuzz. And based on, you know, calculations that I ran afterwards, the Mandibuzz did not have max speed. It had at least some defense and a lot of HP. So, since it didn't matter, Fable decided, you know what, we'll play game 3, but Zexal cannot bring Speed Boost Blaziken anymore, which is fine. So here we have game 3. And in comes the lead of Snorlax, which is making its first appearance this match, and it's using Defense Curl, and it has the ability Immunity as this goes for Toxic, and that does not work, and it has Heavy Slam, and there is no Body Press, and this thing is just going to Defense Curl all the way up to ×3, and it has Seismic Toss for damage. So this is going to get off 100 damage every time. I wouldn't personally use Seismic Toss, but it's okay. Gyarados uses the Z move after a Dragon Dance, and it does 32%, which is practically nothing, and we're going to just keep using Seismic Toss. What's this Gyarados gonna do? Nothing. It's gonna get Seismic Tossed to death, and this thing is huge. It's absolutely massive. We're going to use Body Press, and after, you know, ×3 defense worth of defense curls, we're gonna just take those, and we're gonna use Rest to heal fully, and we are going to heal off of our Chesto Berry. Very cool. So now we have healed fully, and we are awake, and we are recycling our Chesto Berry, and all I gotta say is Fabled's gotta find a way to not lose to this right here. Fabled has to find a way to not lose to this. And Darmanitan's using Superpower, and Superpower, and Superpower, and Heracross is gonna come in, and we're gonna keep clicking Seismic Toss, and Heracross is going to stay a regular Heracross and not do anything, and we use Recycle while we already have a berry, and after a Swords Dance, this kills us with close combat, and now Zexal comes in with this to use Brave Bird, and it correctly, Fabled switches out, but now this has close combat, and close combat does a lot of damage. It does so much damage to this Registeel, as it just goes for Toxic. And there's not really a Pokemon that Fabled has that wants to come in on this. Protect, we knew that it had Protect. Maybe we could have predicted that and gone for Roost, but it's okay. We didn't need to, I guess. We're going to go for Close Combat, get some chip damage off on the Mandibuzz, and we are going to die between Life Orb and Toxic Poison at this point. So now we go into Melodic. We go for Scald, which, you know, if we have Ice Beam, we should be using that, but, it does not seem that we do. We get a proper prediction. We go for Scald, as it uses Roost. So it would have been better than Ice Beam there, because Ice Beam has this ability where it is an Ice type move, and Roost makes you lose your Ice typing on the turn that Roost is used. As we just saw there, Ice Beam did less damage than Scald. Now we have a U-turn as we go for Ice Beam again. In comes the Registeel, and Registeel is going to take less damage than it takes from leftovers, and it's going to now Protect, and we're clicking Scald at this point, and thanks to the Scald burn, Scald might be a 2-hit KO here. It might be, it could not be, but we're gonna just switch out instead. It doesn't even matter. We don't care. Why do we care? And now we're gonna go into our Magic Bounce Espeon to click Reflect, and we have Magic Bounce, and Toxic does not work on Pokemon that have Magic Bounce. And now we're going to get up Calm Mind as Registeel clicks Heavy Slam. It does 15% after Reflect, which is practically non-existent damage. We're going to get up another Calm Mind, and this thing could win the game. Could win the game. Psychic is going to pick up the kill here. Darmanitan comes in, and Flare Blitz does kill through Reflect, and it lives with 1%. Alright, now Golisopod's going to come in and click First Impression, which is going to pick up the kill on the Darmanitan. Very crucial that we did that. This Heracross is going to be faster than us, but it clicked Swords Dance anyway. We're clicking Liquidation. That does a lot, but not enough. Do we have We needed Aqua Jet there. If we had Aqua Jet, we would have been able to pick up the kill on the Heracross. And after a Swords Dance, Bullet Seed's just going to do way too much damage to this Dusclops. We're going to die. In comes Golisopod. It's going to switch out because of Stealth Rocks. In comes Melodic. And Melodic is going to die. And finally, Golisopod's going to come in and get first impression off. Pick up the kill. Very good. And then die to its own life orb. And this results in a win for Fabled. Very good. Congratulations, Fabled, on your win. Go ahead and in record there. Very cool. Alright, so Fabled picks up a 2-1 win over Vexel. And now we have Kitsune versus Antkiller. Two currently doing very well teams. This is a very good match. We have basically third versus fourth place. So this should be a very, very good match. So let's watch it. Let's see what happened. Alright, so we have Quagsire, and we have Boltbeak, and Boltbeak goes for Outrage, as Quagsire goes for Stealth Rock, predicting Boltbeak to switch out. And Outrage is going to be, it's going to not do anything to Mimikyu. And now we're going to switch into Muck, a Alolan form, as Mimikyu goes for Trick Room, and gets Pursuit trapped by the Muck, as Muck predicts a switch. We go into Skarmory. So Mimikyu's disguise is gone, and Skarmory gets knocked off. We go for Whirlwind, and we force out the Muck as Boltbeak comes in from Whirlwind. And then Kitsune is going to try and switch into Steelix as the Skarmory continues to click Whirlwind. Little did Antkiller know that Whirlwind is negative priority, which means in Trick Room it will still go last. And had the Arctozolt just clicked Boltbeak, it would have killed. But luckily Kitsune was trying to switch. And we're going to just keep clicking Whirlwind. We're going to force switches around and I guess get chip off on as much as we can. Skarmory takes practically no damage from that Fire Punch. He's going to get off another Body Press. And Muck is pretty low here. And we go into Mimikyu, and then I guess we decide that Mimikyu was not the correct answer, and then we go into Toxtricity. And Toxtricity goes for Shift Gear to boost its speed, and then we go for Boom Burst to trigger our Throat Spray, and then die to Earthquake. Now we get in our Ditto. So Ditto is going to use Earthquake, probably to, you know, hopefully outdamage the Mega Steelix, but a little Momola is just going to come in at this point. And this is basically a couple of steps away from being a 6-0. So, Trick Room goes up, Muck's going to come in, heal up from Wish, but Let's Snuggle Forever does pick up the kill, so there is no 6-0. Thank goodness. Maybe Antkiller can actually win this game. Except for none of Antkiller's Pokemon do well against this Steelix. Except for this Quagsire. Does this Quagsire have Recover? I guess we will find out. It goes for Toxic Spikes. So it does not have Recover. And in comes the Weezing, which has... We are Stealth Rocks. Substitute Toxic Spikes. Toxic Spikes again. What is our last move here? This has Levitate. So it can't get rid of the Toxic Spikes. Waterfall. Okay. This Pokemon gets soloed by the move Defog, and that was just demonstrated here. And now Quagsire goes down. Ditto comes in, presumably to, I don't know, click Sludge Wave. Sludge Wave doesn't do nearly enough. Ditto's gonna get burnt, start losing HP from chip damage. We're gonna go into Tyrantrum as a double into Alomomola occurs, and even Banded Head Smash I don't think 2-hit KOs. Well, actually, it looks like it does. It looks like it does, actually. So now we just need to hit one. Okay, well, we did not hit one, and Mimikyu's gonna have to come back in here. Strange Steam does some solid damage. Mimikyu gets confused. We need to switch. We need to keep our Ditto, or our Mimikyu alive. If we can get up Trick Room, maybe Head Smash can win at this point. But I think Keldeo probably wins. So our Ditto is going to Strange Steam the incoming Alomomola. We're going to Strange Steam it again. No confusion. Wish goes up. And yeah, that's basically going to seal the deal here. As Steelix comes back in, and none of these Pokemon beat Steelix. So Kitsune is going to pick up game 1. Very cool. Congratulations, Kitsune. Close combat, even banded doesn't do enough. You're gonna die to Earthquake. And Mimikyu is going to die to Gyro Ball. After Destiny bonding, so hey, at least you didn't lose instantly. Alright, so game 1 goes to Kitsune. Very solid play by Kitsune. Ant Killer probably needed to play the Mimikyu a little bit better. Probably more offensively. Because, you see, they both asked me for advice, and I said Ant Killer had a Pokemon that, or had something that was really good against Kitsune, that was really good against me as well. And that was Mimikyu. Basically, Mimikyu after a Sword Stance, just the Fairy attack beats everything. With the Z move, you beat Alomomola, you one-shot this, you one-shot this, and even this does not like to take play roughs. And then the Z move, which is a Fairy type attack, is used here. And then Ghost move beats these two Pokemon in theory. So basically, once this gets low, and once this gets kind of low, and you get up a Sword Stance with your Mimikyu, the Sword Stance beats most of this. But we did not have that exact outcome occur, and Kitsune is able to walk away with game 1. What about game 2, though? Do you think there will be different play? Well, now we lead Quagsire versus Keldeo Resolute, and Quagsire uses Psychic, which tells us instantly that this is not a Quagsire. And then Quagsire is brought to its Sash, and whoa! The imposter is sus! It's Zoroark, and it uses Psychic again as Weezing comes in, which is not the Pokemon that you want to put in front of a Pokemon that is using Psychic. Muck is going to come in at this point, and we are going to knock off the Muck's Assault Vest, and Muck is going to pick up the kill on Zoroark, but that's okay, because now we have the ability to go into Toxtricity, I guess, and click Boom Burst. And Boom Burst does practically nothing, but it's okay, because we got Throat Spray. And we're going to get rid of our own Throat Spray, as this is going to be a Steelix that uses Earthquake, and Quagsire needs to use, well, let's just say Quagsire does not do anything against Alomomola. But it's okay, because we can go Toxtricity on the Alomomola's Toxic, very strong play. We go for Overdrive, missing the pretty easy prediction on the Steelix, and, you know, that's fine. Now we go into Ditto, we get Earthquaked for our troubles, we take nearly half, and we don't make a prediction, we just go for Earthquake, and Alomomola is going to be able to get off a free Wish as we were switching, and that's really bad for us. Is Mimikyu going to Sword Stance here? No, Mimikyu's going to go for Trailblaze, boosting its speed, which is not necessary. If you used Trick Room here, that would have been better. And Let's Snuggle Forever does not kill Muck from full HP. And as a result of that, we've burned our Z move on practically just chip damage, which is going to get healed off by Wish later anyway. We go for Play Rough, trying to pick up the kill on the Muck. And we don't make a prediction going into the Weezing. And then we just go into Quagsire, which we have already seen get soloed by the move Defog. So we need to have a different moveset here. Quagsire just gets up Stealth Rocks again. And Mimikyu is going to come back in as the Alomomola goes for Wish again. And this is going to heal the Steelix back to full, because Drain Punch does nothing. And yeah, we are just not making any predictive plays. Like, that Drain Punch technically was a prediction of sorts, but it wasn't a prediction that accomplishes. Quagsire's now gonna just go for Earthquake. Wish, we're gonna just Earthquake again. This is gonna just protect at this point. Or we can go into Weezing, which has Levitate. And we make a prediction. We go into Tyrantrum. Okay, that's a good prediction. Very cool. Head Smash. Crit does not kill. And we don't die to Strange Steam. Very cool. This time looks like we are Scarfed Head Smash. And Keldeo's gonna come in, and we switch. As Keldeo goes for Secret Sword. We have seen Z move, and Keldeo goes for Flip Turn on the Quagsire. And Quagsire is going to heal for that. But this Quagsire doesn't have Toxic, so it doesn't really do anything. Toxtricity, okay, we're starting to make predictions here. And then we double into Tyrantrum on the Steelix. We get up close combat, and that's definitely Scarf. And that's not nearly enough damage. And that's a dead Tyrantrum. Ditto's gonna come back in. Earthquake is going to not do enough. The Alomomola is gonna come in. We didn't predict that. We did not go into Toxtricity. And we are going to take more damage on our Ditto. We're gonna Earthquake again. This Alomomola beats us though. And this is looking like a 2-0 win for Kitsune. I will say that. Overdrive, that's not the prediction you make. You always click Boom Burst. Because Boom Burst does more damage. Unless it is specifically on the Alomomola. Or the Keldeo. But most of the time, Boom Burst does do more damage. Despite the fact that it is not Stab. Because it is boosted by Punk Rock. I mean, Overdrive is too, but Boom Burst is base 140, and Stab Overdrive is base 120. Ditto is going to use Wish, and it's going to Wish Pass into Quagsire, which is going to heal so much because the Keldeo goes for Scald. And since this Quagsire does not carry the move Toxic, and it actually seems to carry Psychic, which is very, very weird. Actually, no. It looks like this is bugged. Because it says Focus Sash was consumed on the Quagsire. And I doubt Quagsire is actually focused. You know? Alright, we get Earthquake off. Rocks go up. And we can't get rid of those rocks because Antkiller did not bring a Defogger. But hey, look, we got Toxic on the Alomomola. So at least we have a way of, you know... At least we have a way to get residing damage on it, but this is all but a foregone conclusion, essentially. Essentially what's going on is Quagsire is trying its best to survive. Mimikyu's gonna come in on the fighting attack. Very cool, but like at this point the Mimikyu's poisoned and it's not gonna do enough. And we knew that this thing wasn't choiced, and we knew that we weren't faster. And maybe our Ditto can win? Aura Sphere? Maybe? Maybe? Pause Champ? Maybe it can win? Hold on. Maybe the Ditto wins? Maybe the Ditto wins? Maybe the Ditto wins? Aura Sphere does 51% to Alomomola. Wish toxic damage is gonna take toxic damage. Protect. Okay, it's gonna take more toxic damage as we keep going for Aura Sphere. Pause Champ. Another Aura Sphere will kill. We did not switch. We did not Aura Sphere. We could have picked up the kill on the Alomomola. In theory, or we could have just killed the Muck, I guess. But hey, you know what? Maybe we were out of PP. Maybe that's what it was. We might have been out of PP. We only have 5 Aura Spheres once we become him. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3. No, we had 2 more Aura Spheres. We could have used Aura Sphere twice. Oh, it's okay because now we've become him. But then we lose the speed type because we are both scarfed. And Outrage kills the rest of our team. And Kitsune gets the win 2-0 over Antkiller. Very, very solid play by Kitsune. Kitsune looking like a sleeper for the whole tournament. Let's not sleep on Kitsune Noble. Alrighty. We are down to the final 2 matches of the recap. These matches are Kiwi versus Calrook, and then myself versus Timblewolfie. And first we have Kiwi versus Calrook, as this is the match that was played first. So, let's get into it. Substriker lead versus Gligar, and we go for Thunderbolt because Kiwi does not know that ground types are immune to electric. Starmie is going to come in now, and Tailwind goes up, and we're going to just Ice Beam the Gligar, getting a free kill. Good job, Kiwi. You picked up a kill. Let's go. Gengar's going to come in, and we're going to switch out. Gengar goes for Shadow Ball on the Flygon, and Flygon takes very little damage. And by very little, I mean it survives. But for the first time this entire draft, Kiwi is not Scarf Flygon, and we just lose Flygon to Gengar. But it's okay, because Chandelure is Scarfed and comes in and kills the Gengar. And then we go for Shadow Ball on the Crobat. Crobat uses Brave Bird, which kills and does a lot of damage to itself. Zubstrike is going to come back in. It's slower than Crobat, but it's okay, because Calyrex going to switch anyway. We're going to use Thunderbolt on Sableye. That's definitely a specially defensive Sableye. Zubstrike uses Volt Switch. We go into Sylveon. Correct play here. We get our Sylveon knocked off, and we lose our Life Orb, which means that Sylveon needs to just click a Fairy type attack. Sylveon, yes, Sylveon clicks Hyper Voice. That kills the Conkeldurr easily. Heals to full with Wish. Fantastic. Sylveon just needs to attack the Cloyster, and Kiwi is really obsessed with the idea of switching to Pokemon with super effective attacks, despite the fact that these Pokemon are defensively terrible. All Kiwi had to do there was Hyper Voice the Cloyster, and it would have died, but Kiwi likes to blunder the entire game. And Hyper Voice, as you can see, brings the Cloyster down to its Choice Sash. Choice Sash, yes. And now, honestly, Kiwi has an Umbreon. As long as Kiwi doesn't use Toxic on the Sableye and get her own Umbreon poisoned, things would be fine. But here we are. Here we are. We get our own Umbreon Toxic poisoned, and now we're gonna lose because our Umbreon is Toxic. Very cool. Oh, it's okay though. We've got Foul Play. I mean, you get our leftovers knocked off. It's okay. We have Wish Protect. Surely we do not lose. We have Wish Protect. Calyrex uses Recover, as he really should have there. If we just clicked Foul Play there, that would have died. But Kiwi makes a proper prediction, reads the Crobat coming in, comes in with a Zubstrika, uses Hidden Power Ice, even though Electric is super effective against flying types, and blunders the entire game, essentially. Now Kiwi is going to switch into Starmie, as Crobat uses Roost. Starmie is slower than Crobat. This dies to U-turn. Sableye is going to come back in. Kiwi is going to send an Umbreon against the Sableye. Foul Play. Yeah, as Sableye just uses Protect. Kiwi really should have used Wish at any point, because while you're Toxic Poisoned, using Protect actually just makes you lose health. And Zubstrike is going to come in and lose to Crobat, because Kiwi threw the game 6 times. So game 1 goes to Calyrex. Congratulations, Calyrex. A very, very deserved win for game 1. What about game 2? How is game 2 looking? We have Cloyster lead versus Umbreon. Cloyster goes for Spikes as Umbreon goes for Toxic. This is very, very solid start. And Cloyster goes for Spikes as Umbreon goes for Foul Play. And then Cloyster's going to go for Spikes again, presumably. No, it just goes for Icicle Spear. Interesting choice. I personally wouldn't have done that. And Kiwi predicts the switch and goes for Toxic on the Conkeldurr, which is way better than allowing it to have Guts. But it doesn't matter because it still has Guts. And, you know, now we're going to just get murdered by close combat. Sylveon's going to come in, and we have seen last time that the Sylveon kills the Conkeldurr. And Calyrex makes a correct switch, gets out of there. Crobat's going to come in as Kiwi is going to get Brave Birded and lose Sylveon again for free. Now Kiwi's going to go into Starmie. And get U-turned on for 1,000,000 damage. And hopefully this Starmie... Okay, clicked Rapid Spin. Very good. Get rid of those spikes. Now we can use Ice Beam, kill the Gligar. And honestly, if we have a Psychic type attack, this picks up another kill. Or we can Ice Beam the Crobat as well. Hey, look, Kiwi's not going to lose to Crobat this time, chat. Very good. Alright, so at this point, with some good positioning, the Chandelure can win. And we have Infiltrator, but Protect protects us. We go for Fire Blast, which is... It's alright. It's probably the best play here. We get our Scarf knocked off as we just continue to click Fire Blast. And we get a burn. But after the burn... No, it's still not enough to KO the Sableye. We go into Umbreon and we click Protect! Because why would we kill the Pokemon that has Recover ourselves? And then we use Toxic for no reason! And we get synchronized, but it's okay because the Sableye is burned anyway. And now Kiwi loses. So... yeah. All Calyrex has to do at this point is go into Conkeldurr and click any attack. And, GG. So... yeah. It's only a matter of time before the Umbreon inevitably dies to toxic poison. And this is just over. It's over. There's nothing left here. Substrike is gonna get knocked off. It doesn't lose its item. Thunderbolt, yeah, that does 20%. That's yeah. Why? Just why? Why? I think Calric is also trying to throw, just for fun, I guess. Now we just hard switch into Conkeldurr. We could have maybe died to double crit overheat, which is, you know, like a 1 in 60 million chance or whatever, and it's not possible. But it's okay, because Conkeldurr this time knows how to click Mach Punch. And Conkeldurr clicking Mach Punch results in the death of the rest of Cupid's team. Very cool. Alright. Well, Calric picks up a 2-0 win for Kiwi, and Kiwi, after the high of beating Plasma, has now experienced, 2 massive throws. I can't even sugarcoat it. Those throws were absurdly large. And now we have the final match of the recap. Myself versus Timberwolfie. These should be quick matches. My team, very aggressive. Timberwolfie's team, very good at setting up. So I lead Nihilego. He leads Ursaring, and I'm like, what does Ursaring do? It probably uses close combat. I should be scared of that. So I switch out, and then I go into my Vaporeon, and then this thing reveals that it is burned with Trailblaze, and I'm like, I don't want to get Trailblazed. So I just sacrifice Goodra. I go into Indeedee to get the terrain up. And then I go into I use Expanding Force, and then that kills the Ursaring. And then I use Expanding Force with my Gardevoir, and that forces me to switch out. I use Sludge Wave to get a bunch of damage off. And then I use Power Gem because, let's be honest, if it used Protect, then I could just Sludge Wave again. And, you know, if it switched, I hit something with Sludge Wave. And then in comes the Empoleon on that, and then I use Electric Z, and I kill the Empoleon, and then I have Sludge Wave for the Sceptile, which is a special attacking Sceptile, which results in me picking up a kill, because Nihilego has good special defense. And at this point, Nihilego just wins the game. Like, it just won the game. It just won. Yeah. It just won the game. Picking up the KO on Empoleon, nothing left resisted both my rock and my poison moves. In fact, all of the Pokemon that were left were weak to one of the two. So yeah, Nihilego, after killing the Empoleon with the Electric Z move, literally won the game. It just won. So Game 2, let's see if he is prepared for the Nihilego this time. I lead with my Indeedee, and then I go into Gardevoir to take whatever tactics he goes for. I go for Specs Expanding Force. Rotom comes in, and it is specially defensive because that should have killed, but it didn't. So, yeah. It's okay, though. Second Expanding Force kills. Now, on that turn, I had a feeling that he was going to use the Ghost Z move, but I didn't want to go into Indeedee because if I got that prediction wrong, I couldn't put up the terrain again. And I need the terrain. So, I just let Gardevoir die for free. And then I go into Goodra. Goodra takes a Dazzling Gleam like it's nothing. I use Substitute. I am trying to get off Substitute Toxic. I get off the Toxic on the Mismagius, and now I'm going to Protect as Timba switches, and I get some Leftovers recovery. And since my Leftovers are still on my Pokemon, I am going to heal. But I could have gone for Protect. I wanted to just go into Nihilego, just in case. And I used Thunder raw. I actually raw Thunder on the Empoleon. I predicted Como to come in, and I was like, maybe I paralyze it, and that would be really cool. But it didn't, and it went into Screamtail. and Screamtail said red card, and then I went into Goodra, and I was like, oh no, this is really bad. But since Timba knows that I have Toxic on my Goodra, I was like, ha 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 ha, Toxic. And yeah, Timba did not want to get his Screamtail Toxic poisoned, and he goes into this, and I'm like, there's no need for me to overpredict. I'm gonna just hit him. And he goes for Dragon Dance, predicting me to switch, and I'm like, I don't need this Goodra, so I'm gonna just attack. I get Dragon Pulse, and it just kills on the Sceptile. And at this point, now I'm Scald Burned, and I have Substitute, and this thing can never break my Substitute. So I'm just gonna get off damage. Even though this thing is a Steel type, and this really, really sucks, this is my best play, is just hit it. As I'm just going for Dragon Pulse on the Empoleon. Now, I don't have Stealth Rocks up, so he could switch between these two, and eventually I would have to predict him. But he instead goes into Mismagius, and I'm like, okay, cool, Dragon Pulse, it's already Toxic Poisoned. And then Empoleon comes in, and I'm like, okay, cool, Dragon Pulse, Empoleon, I'm getting damage. And yeah, I'm just attacking with this Goodra. This Goodra is here, and it's attacking. That's what it's doing. It is here, and it is swinging. And I go for Substitute, because, you know, my Substitute is not there, and I want to be behind a Substitute. And Screamtail's gonna come in. I'm going to waste a Dragon Pulse, as Screamtail's immune. Now I'm going to Quick Toxic. Oh, but Encore, and I'm just like, well, now my Goodra is stuck using Dragon Pulse. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I'll switch into Nihilego, and at this point, Nihilego can use the Z move, which is the Electric Z move again, and it does a lot of damage to Como, but it doesn't kill. 30% is a lot, and it puts it in range for Dazzling Gleam, even if it has the Fairy Resist Berry. And then I'm like, okay, cool, Nihilego can just attack everything and kill everything again. But in comes Mismagius with Destiny Bond to bamboozle me. And now we have a game, folks. I need to find a way to defeat this exact threat right in front of me, Screamtail. I get up my Seed, I have Unburdened Hawlucha, and I'm gonna go for close combat. And I don't one-shot the Empoleon, and it uses Scald, and it burns me, and now my attack is halved, and Screamtail's gonna be able to come back in as I'm just trying to pick up the kill on Empoleon, and thanks to the burn, I don't kill with Acrobatics, so I have to go for close combat. Indeedee gonna come in and use Shadow Ball, and luckily, Shadow Ball this time hits the roll I needed to kill. That was a damage range. And I hit the roll, and coincidentally, Screamtail fainted. So, thanks to that, Screamtail's not able to wish to heal out of range. And at this point, Indeedee just needs to keep attacking. Empoleon has no healing moves. I just need to keep hitting him. And thanks to that, I do keep hitting him, and I pick up the win, resulting in a 2-0 win for me over Timba Wolfie. Alright, so at this point, the matches that players had lost. Let's see here. I have to go through. I have to see the point values of everybody. I have to see how many points everyone has. I don't know if I gave everyone their points for if they won or lost yet. It's actually one. I don't remember. This is hard. This is hard. This is hard. Alright, so let's see here. Kitsune won. Power Up won. Mr. Titan T played against Plasma and lost. Yeah, I don't remember if I put in the points for all of this stuff. Let me find out when the matches were put. That'll help me find out. Your match scheduling. Battle links. Battle links is probably the way. Was plat 3-8. Okay, so I have done all of the free agents before 3-8. Oh, I didn't do the 3-6 free agent. So I'm guessing that I haven't given points for the matches yet. Pretty sure I haven't. So let's go ahead and do that. So the people who were defeated. Let me open a new tab of this. Schedule. And I'm gonna pull this over here so you guys can't see what I'm looking at. Even though, you know, it's just the same thing. Okay, so Ant Killer was defeated. Ant Killer received the points after. No, so Ant Killer was undefeated. So I have not given the points. So Ant Killer now has 120 points. Mr. Titan T gains an additional 5 points. Kiwi gets another 5. Has 15 extra points. Or what am I saying? 15 extra? Yeah, Kiwi has 15 points left over. Timba gains 5. I think I already put that one in. I don't think I did, actually. Timba gains 5. Twisty gets another 5. He's now up to 3 losses. Juvenile was defeated by a bento box, which I wouldn't even really say is much of an upset. And Zexel gets an additional 5 points to work. Cool. Alright. Now everyone has received their points. I'm going to put in the free agent moves that I have not already put in, which there are a few. Let's see here. I put in Rookie D for Comfy. I put in Honchkrow for Chronont. Now Juvenile is dropping Incineroar for Arcanine and Arctozolt for Landorus. Okay. Let me go ahead and pull up the tier list. I have the roster. Incineroar for Arcanine. Arcanine, which is worth 18 points. And Arctozolt for Landorus. Which is 17. Alright, and that leaves Juvenile with 3 extra points left. I will go ahead and mark these red. Juvenile has them. And I'm just editing the tier list off screen. That's all I'm doing here. And Landorus also is on this team now. Okay. That's not what I want. This. Juvenile. Alright, now I need to remove the other Pokemon from Juvenile's team. So Incineroar is going to be available for everybody else. And Arctozolt is available for us again. Very cool. Congratulations, Juvenile, on your free agent moves. Now we have, there is Crystal Wolf dropped Vullaby for Golbat and Togetic for Torracat. Alright. So, Crystal Wolf. There it is. Drops Vullaby for Golbat. So this is now a Golbat. And Golbat is 7 points. And Togetic for Torracat. Torracat. 1 point. This will become effective after Kitsune's match of week 7. Zexel will drop Blaziken for me and Xiao. Well, let me update the, here, I guess I could show you guys the tier list updated. Go ahead, Yeah, I saw my desktop for a split second there. Very cool. So Volibee available now. Go down here. Volibee. Killer. Wolf no longer has it. Make Golbat be on Wolf's team. And this is what I did off screen that last one. And then Togetic is also dropped, and it dropped for a 1-point Pokemon, so I don't have to, you know, make that 1-point Pokemon unavailable, because it's just not on the list. So there's no point trying to do it. Zexal then dropped Blaziken for Mian Xiao. So Blaziken is available at 11 points, and Zexal picks up Mian Xiao. 13 points. Okay. So drop Blaziken, pick up Mian. Blaziken, Mian Xiao. This is a 13-pointer. So Pokemon tier list. Zexal. And Blaziken is now available to the general public again. And then Antkiller now drops Phalanx and Zoroark for Incineroar and Decidueye. And then also picks up Butterfree. So, let's see here. Antkiller, Phalanx, moved from team. Nope. And then Zoroark is also dropped. And then Incineroar is added. Made red for Ant. And Decidueye. Dekidui. Also on Ant's team. And then Ant, on a separate free agent move, picks up Butterfree. Butterfree. Alright, now I need to update the roster for that. So, Ant's team, Zoroark becomes Decidueye. I am going to assume this is Decidueye because well, mathematically speaking, you can't make the move, what are the words I'm looking for here? You can't have Mimikyu and Decidueye be Z captains of the, and Incineroar be Z captains of the Incineroar. Why can't you do that? Because it's a maximum of 25 points to do that. And then finally, Butterfree for 3 points. Alright, and that is all of the free agent moves and trades updated. Now I will finally do something that I don't do on these recap videos or streams. I'm going to update the standings live. So let me go ahead, grab my second tab so I can pull it off screen. And I can have the schedule posted, so I can put in all of the match score. So Kitsune won 2-0, which means Kitsune now has 9 wins. Antkiller was defeated 2-0, which means Antkiller now has 5 losses. Plasma won 2-0, which means Plasma now has 9 wins. Mr. Titan T lost 2-0, which means Mr. Titan T now has 7 losses. Kiwi lost 2-0, which means Kiwi now has 11 losses. Calrook won 2-0, which means Calrook now has 5 wins. I won 2-0, which means I now have 12 wins. Timberwolfie lost 2-0, which means Timberwolfie now has 8 losses. Wisty was defeated 2-0, which means Wisty now has 8 losses. Crystal won 2-0, which means Crystal Wolf now has 12 wins. Juvenile lost 2-1, which means Juvenile now has 5 wins and 8 losses. Bento won 2-1, which means Bento now has 4 wins and 9 losses. And let's see here. Fabled has 1-2-1, which means Fabled now has 7 wins and 7 losses. And Zexel was defeated. Zexel was defeated 2-1, which means Zexel now has 3 wins and so now we can use these numbers to rearrange our standings. So we will simply do that. We'll simply rearrange our standings based on the differential as we do. Fabled, with that win, climbs up into playoff contention. And the rest of these matches, these are all correct. So now we change this to a 4. We change this to a 5. This to a 6. Change this to a 7. 8. Change this to a 9. And the bottom has stayed the same. Now we change this to be green. This to be yellow. And we change this to also be yellow. And we change this to be dark red. And this is our standings at this point. This is how the standings look. Pretty good stuff, I would say. Pretty good. So, congratulations to everyone who played. I hope you are all having fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. I am going to now go ahead and get myself some breakfast, and then I'm going to go get ready to get live, to go live after this. I will see you all later. Have a good day.